to work on our legs and lengthening our breath as something to add to our practice. All right. So I don't care what side you start on, but let's go inhale. And remember, you're going to imagine and pretend, I'm going too fast. Imagine and pretend that you've got this infinity going on in your head. So you inhale in one direction and exhale. Okay, let's come to center. Now remember, you want to start focusing on one of your palms and imagine that you've got a very large Tai Chi ball in your palm. The center of the Tai Chi ball is at the still point, the center of your palm. So the ball is big. All right, so let's do one side and let's imagine this ball is floating up and forward. So you want to focus on this big ball that's moving you and over the top. And we want to exhale as we come down, and our whole body is going to sink. And so that at the end of our breath, of exhaling is at the same exact moment we're at the bottom of our stance. So you want to focus, focus, focus on that ball. You're inhaling up over the top. And the ball is what's moving your whole arm and your shoulder. And you're going to sink as you exhale. So the question is getting the timing so that you have this long, slow inhale coming up. You continue to inhale, you're at the top of your stance, and you exhale coming down. So it's that slow. Okay, let's, you go the other direction. We won't do that this morning. Let's go to the other hand. So inhale. Imagine you've got that big ball and it's floating as your whole body is going up over the top. Slow, fully inhale, and now you're going to start your exhale as you come down, a slow, even exhale into the bottom of your stance. Inhale, go up as your shoulders going up, and fully inhaled now, and now you're going to exhale down. So this is called us to, let's go in the other direction of this head. So this is, and by the way, when you go other direction, it's not just this, it's the loop.
Yes.
The loop. Okay, all the way to the bottom. Inhale up. So the purpose of this preparation is that we're preparing ourselves for Tai Chi. And so we want to start already here, going slow and deliberate and getting all of that benefit that we can out of the preparation. Okay, focus on the center of your Dan Qian and a very slow inhale. The Dan Qian does that little loop, and exhale. Relaxing your arms. So what's actually happening here, as well in your upper Dan Qian when you're doing your neck back and forth, is that the Dan Qian itself is a still point. It does, your Dan Qian itself is not doing this infinity kind of pattern. The Dan Qian is a point, and it's your internal energy that is going in this infinity motion. And it goes through that point when it comes to the center. So it's the energy that, so your point stays still, and that's why you need to focus on your point, and you imagine until you can start feeling it. You just pretend that you've got this infinity loop that's going around. But while you're doing that, you're inhaling very, very slowly, and you're watching your timing so that your full inhale is in one direction when you start to turn around, and your full exhale is in the other direction. Okay, let's come to center. I just have, every once in a while, it's just good to review. Inhaling, you're floating up, and exhale, sink down. Okay, let's gather our energy. Inhale, gather all that energy. Exhale, get very heavy. Your hands are getting very heavy. And then as they're expanding and behind you, gathering everything from behind you, you're floating up with an inhale. And you bring it, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then as you exhale, all of that's going into that point. That's your Dantian. Okay, so inhale. Now your Dantian doesn't stay in the same spot. So once you start feeling it, don't be surprised that it's moved a little bit from where you thought it was or where it might you imagined it was or felt it was before. So I don't usually find my Dantian myself until after I've taken several breaths here. And then I'm imagining where is the expansion coming from? Where is that point where the expansion starts? And when I exhale, where is that point that everything is going into? And then at some point there, I may or may not feel it, depending on the day. Okay, beginning stance. So we're inhaling, and we're exhaling. So we're sinking a little bit. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, let's do a couple up or downwards. Okay. So when we inhale, we're imagining a lot of things. We're imagining that our arms are being lifted, but as we go up, we don't lose the down. So it's not that just the arms are being lifted, it's everything is expanding here. So it's going down every bit as much as it's going up. And you want to try to think of that. So one day in your practice, you might just spend the whole practice or several of these upward and downward, trying to keep feeling the lower part of this as your arms float up and your whole body floats up. And then as you come down, your hands get heavy and you sink. So the other thing we talked about is that the internal energy goes from the center of the Dantian up the spine, all the way up the spine to the crown point, which is the top of your inhale. And then as you exhale, it starts coming down and sinking as your whole body sinks. So that is one energy path. The other one that we've talked about is you go up your spine until you get to the center of your back, and then it splits and the energy goes out each arm and out each fingertip. And that's at the top of your inhale. And as you exhale, it starts going down your hands, and then it goes to the middle Dantian, and then it floats all the way down. Now, my timing there was very bad. I got to the bottom of my stance. It's hard to talk and think of everything. So you want to concentrate on your inhale and your breath, and you want to try to imagine both of these paths of this energy happening simultaneously. That's a lot to think about. So I can do, and sometimes do 15, 20 minutes of just upward, downward, and inward, outward, because this is a lot of concentration. And when you do this in your practice and meditate on it and stay in Tai Chi, as Master Liao says, don't get out of Tai Chi. This is all you need for all the benefits of Tai Chi. This is feeling all of the energy inside and outside. All right, but I want to add on one more thing. So while the energy, because we don't spend enough time thinking about our legs and our feet. So while you keep going, while you inhale, the energy is also coming down the outside of your leg down to the well point, which is right in front of the ball of the foot. And then as you exhale, it's coming back up your inside of your leg to your Dan Chien. So while you're doing all of this and expanding up, you've got also the energy on the outside of your legs. And by the time you get to here, it's at that well point, and then it's going to start coming up to your Dan Chien on the inside of your leg. So what's happening here, Emily, is that internally your energy is expanding from your Dan Chien all the way to your crown point and out your fingertips and down to the well point of your sole of your foot, and then everything's coming back into your Dan Chien. So it's Master Liao or George have never said this, but it's like the full body workout. Okay. Let's do the next one. Let's do a transition. So what's going to happen here, you've got all of those pathways internally, and then your elbows are being pulled out, and then on your hands, it's going to the fingertips, and now it's all coming in. So when you start doing inward and outward, you sort of can change your focus to just that Dan Chien, expanding, expanding, expanding. So your arms happen to be going out because this is the form, that's what you'll feel, but you've got this whole body of bubble all the way around you. So when you start imagining this expansion, inhaling slowly, 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 floating, 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 your body has to float up to, so as big as this bubble as it is out in front of you, it's 360 degrees bubble. And I think Master Liao talked about protection. Protection. So there's a part of getting this energy surrounding you. It's surrounding you all the time, but you want to really work on feeling this energy in all directions and imagining it. And it becomes a bubble of protection. So let's stop a minute, because everyone has that energy, whether you do Tai Chi or not. What we're trying to do is strengthen the energy. But you've walked and someone coming towards you, and you dodge a little bit, because you want to get around, and he dodges, or that's outside energy that is keeping you from bumping into each other when you're really just trying to get around each other. And if his energy moves and you happen to move in the same direction, it doesn't work. It's actually a time when your energy is working and you don't realize it. Or awareness, just a lot of things that you suddenly become aware of. You're driving in a car, you might feel like the car's going to cut in front of you before it actually does. Or there's lots of examples, and it's just a question of your awareness of everything outside of you will become stronger and stronger with particularly with this particular practice, so that you become conscious quicker. Everyone has it when someone comes up behind them, even though they don't see them or hear them, and you've got this feeling that someone's behind you, and it's not that you heard them. It's just that you all of a sudden you're aware that someone is standing behind you, and so that's part of this energy that we all have. And what we try to do with our Tai Chi, or what we do with Tai Chi, is make that stronger so that you have that awareness. Okay, let's stop for a second. Okay, let's do some single hand whip. So we're going to, as we exhale and come down, what we're doing here, and this is something that's easily forgotten, you have your Dan Chien, you're going to split out, you're going to let the Dan Chien come out, the energy, the ball, come out of your Dan Chien, And you're going to let it expand and expand and expand. And it's continuing to expand as you're going to go all the way out to the universe. Okay. And then we're going to grab it and we're going to slowly bring it in straight across. And then you let your elbow out and then you let it out. And then let the ball expand, let it go down and bounce back up. And try to feel this ball of energy. Okay, so then let's let it go again. Let's gather up the energy again. So this ball does two things. Two things are happening here. This ball of energy is what is driving you to the side. So you can imagine that ball actually pushing you until your hip can't go anymore. And then it continues to push your elbow. And then it's going to go up diagonally. You make sure it goes up 45 degrees. Okay. And now it's got this ball. We're going to just slowly let it go. I love that. Imagine that it's bouncing back and you got it. So you got this ball. Okay. Let's let that ball come back to your dantian with an inhale and then exhale. Let's take out another ball, the other side, and let it expand out. That's a little extra movement. You don't have to do that. That's okay. Inhale, inhale, inhale. You've got that ball of energy. It's starting to push you, push you, push you, continue to push you. And then you're going to let it go out 45 degrees because you can't go anymore. Okay, so now two things are happening. This is really getting advanced, but you're practicing, so it's good to feel it. So when you get your energy, when you get this ball here, this is one energy. Another energy is what we've been talking about all along, that your dantian is moving you that way. So you've got two things. You can't focus on. It's hard to focus on both of them at the same time, but you let that you want to focus that you've got this energy in this, I guess, in this hand right now. Okay, yes, better to focus just on that. Okay, so when we let it
all coming in,
oh, okay.
No, it's never mind.
It's okay. All right, let's go. All right, so we'll do the diagonal time. Okay, so let's inhale, exhale, take out that Tai Chi ball. Inhale. Let it get really, really, really big. Grab the universe and grab. So you're pulling the whole universe, but it's also this that's pushing you. It's this energy that's driving you all the way across and up. Okay, so this is what.
Emily, just calling from Dr. Cohen's office to remind you of your phone appointment Monday, March 1st, 11:40 a.m. If you have any questions, give us a call at 742-9166.
Okay. This is 3. And 4 gets right in the center. So we're going to do the center again is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Your whole body gets in here. So when you're dropping it, it's getting heavy and you're sinking down. And then when it floats up, you float up with it. Get your whole body in. Okay, let's do the other side. So this is an inhale all the way across. Okay, and then exhale and sink. Inhale and float up. Exhale, let it get really heavy and sink. Inhale, everything is light and it floats up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, float up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, float up. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so one of the things I'm noticing, it's a big wrist thing. You've got this whole wrist thing going. So as it's coming up, you could also imagine, I don't know if you can see it, a string on my wrist, but that the string is pulling it up by the wrist. And so you let it go, and when it sinks, you're sinking by the wrist. So you've got to get this wrist motion, because that's what the whip is. It's this motion, that you want to be able to get. So you get that's what loosening up the wrist is all about. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of things. I don't want you to get confused, because Master Liao, as you'll see on the video that I'm sending you, the George Flow with George, I think I cut it out. Anyway, sometimes he makes mistakes, which is hard to accept when he is doing explaining things. I do too. It's very hard to explain as you're doing something, so I fully understand. But and Master Liao doesn't teach beginners anymore, except now he's doing it through this class. He hasn't taught beginners probably in 15 or 20 years. So with that in mind, it looks messy, but as I said, we're doing single hand whip, and we are letting our Tai Chi ball come out. So this is really what happens. The ball comes out, and your hand goes all the way around here, and then you start collecting and collecting all that energy, so you have a whole universe that you get into this ball. Okay, but what happens, that's the energy, that's what your energy is doing, and that's what you go through that step in the morning. But sometimes you'll see me, and you'll see him all the time, just take out the energy ball, just go like this. He doesn't do this. Do you get the difference?
Yeah.
So even when I go out like this, I'm imagining the ball going down and up, even though it's my physical thing is just to go out and get it. So that I have probably been relaxed and really pointing this out to you, but you want to get in the habit now when you start this, that you make sure that you don't just all of a sudden have this Tai Chi ball here. It's come out from your Dan Qian. So another place that happens, and I want to talk about this, is that when you do single hand attaching. Okay, so let's do a single hand attaching. So you're going to take out a ball. You see me do this. I say take out the ball, but really happens is that you go down and you take out the ball out, because it grows. So you don't just have a ball from up. The ball doesn't just I have to explain. The ball is in your hand, and the palm of your hand is the center of the ball. So you want the ball to have everything from the earth, everything from the sky, everything here, and then you put it down. So it's just a down. It's a down like that. Let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone right now. I'm sorry, I should cut that out. So let's just take it out this way. So imagine you take it out this way, and you're letting it down as you step, obviously. But here's where it's really important. As you're going forward, you're going to step, and then you're going to go down to the earth, and then you're going to come up, and then you're going to come all the way around and to the front, and you're going to sink a little bit, and then you're going to expand. But what's important about this is the count. And I don't know that I've talked about this enough. So when you go down, it's 1. And when you float up, it's 2. But you don't want to forget about the down. So even though you're going 1, 2, and you come up, you still are feeling the up and down. You want to feel the whole thing. And then that's 1, 2, 3, you come around. So now you're getting the sides. So you want to feel up, down, and east, west. And then you're going to come all the way up here, and you want to start feeling forward and backward. So you have the whole big circle. And then it's big and it's expanding, and this is all in your imagination. 5, you're contracting a little bit. So you want to bring everything into here. So you're contracting just a little bit so that you're ready to 6, expand forward. And when you expand forward, your energy is pushing out and through your hand and out. So that when you are doing 2-person practice, you are going to touch the other person who's bringing, and that's that connection right there. Both of your energies are coming into that one point. But we're only doing single person practice. So this is number 6. If you want to go start it over again, you come back, put your weight on your back foot and go 1, stay on your back foot, 2, come up and down, 3, you've got east, west, 4, you've got front and back, 5, you're going to compress it a little bit, and 6, you're going to let it expand. So all of those steps are in single hand attaching. 1, this is all an inhale, you float up. 2, this is all inhaling. 3, east, west. 4, front and back. 5, and this is when you exhale. 6. So it happens fast, but you have to do it slow to start feeling it. So every time you do single hand attaching, you have this whole thing happening, and then you let it all explode. And let's go to the other side. Let's do the same thing with ward off. 1, 2 is up, so you've got up and down. 3, east and west. 4, just let it expand front and back. 5, it contracts a little bit. And 6, you let it go. So this is all an inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4 is still expanding. 5, it contracts a little bit. And 6, you let it go. So it's the same thing, ward off, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So detail, 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 like Master Leal says. Okay, and next week I want to go over, flowing, and but I wanted to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in, because I think we talked about it very, very early, and I haven't mentioned it again. Okay. Let's do a little bit of the flow with downward, deflect downward and parry. So deflect downward, we're starting in beginning stance. Take one of our hands out. Again, it goes down. So you're taking it out of the Dan Qian. And with an inhale, you're going up and your wrist turns so that it's facing, and you sink down. Your hand gets heavy and you sink down. And let's keep doing it. So this is a float up. Your wrist turns so that at this point you're facing out. At this point you're facing 45 degrees, and then you start sinking with the down with the exhale. So it's inhale, floating, floating, floating up, getting light, getting big. And then you're going to start sinking, sinking, sinking with an exhale. This is downward parry. Okay. Now, let's try it with the other hand. Put everything back. Okay, so sink down. Inhale, let it float up. It shouldn't get any higher than your eye. The fingertips, you don't want higher than your eyes. Sink down. Float up. It's all an inhale and sink down. Okay, let's do it one more time. Inhale, float. Exhale, sink. Okay, so doing this in a flow, you can do both of them. So you can do, let's go with the other hand. Sink, inhale, sink. Let me see if I get it right. So you can get both hands going. It's sort of like what do I say? Rubbing your head and patting your tummy or vice versa. It's fun to play with this. You can do one hand until you're really comfortable. But the idea is this is sinking and this is floating up. These two balls are connected. So this sinks as the other one floats up and sinks as the other one floats up. So this is downward, deflect downward. Okay, so now let's do parry. So parry is you take out your Tai Chi ball from your Danqian, you take it out this way. And it's going to float, your Danqian is going to twist and turn you, and you're going to come out over here by your ear, and it's sort of like, and then you're going to go out. You want to go out before it comes down. So, and your whole body twists. So as it comes down, your whole body is sinking, and it goes up, it starts to float up, and your whole body floats with it. You make sure that you are imagining that you're going out 45 degrees. So with parry, it's very, very similar to a brush knee. You just don't get quite as close to your ear. And you just imagine it going out. Okay, let's go with the other side. That was an inhale. I'm going to exhale, let out because I'm sinking here. Inhale, let it all go out. Exhale, down. Very smooth. Inhale, imagine it going out, and exhale down. And again, you could do this with both hands. It's just sort of fun to play with it. So you have one going down and one going up. This is coming across as this goes out. This goes down, one comes down, one comes up. Okay, that's okay. That can become extraordinarily meditative. And everything is coming from the Danqian as you twist. Okay, so now we have deflect downward, parry, and now the punch part. So what happens, we're going to do deflect downward with one hand. So just do with your left hand, deflect down. So get this started. And then as it gets about here, this hand is going to start its parry. So this comes out. So you've got this clock kind of thing again. Remember, this has got to sink, and this is going to come all the way over. And the sinking ball is going to come under so that your hand is, this palm is up, this palm is down. Okay? And you're all the way over the side. You grab, as you pull and twist, you're going to grab the universe into this hand. This hand comes up and your thumb is sticking out. So if like you look at it in front of you, you've got this ball. And then you're going to punch straight, 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 straight out as you twist. And this hand's going to come around. And then you let it go. And then you bring everything back. Now let's start with the other hand. So your right hand, deflect down. Start it twisting. Its palm is now facing out. Start the outward parry. As this comes down, you want this to go out. All the way you twist, twist, twist. So at this point, your bottom palm is up. This palm is down. You're going to grab the universe with your left hand. Start bringing it this way as this comes up. As your right hand comes up, with your thumb up. And then you're going to punch with your left as you twist. And then let it all go. Okay? Bring it back in. Downward with the with your left hand. This is an inhale. Did I do it right? Yeah. Exhale. No, that's not. This is an inhale. Exhale. Bring it all in. Okay, do your left hand, my right. This is all of this happens pretty fast. This is all an inhale. I think it's this way. This, and then this is an exhale. I'm not sure of that, the breathing. Maybe this is an inhale. Inhale. Yeah. It's all one breath. Exhale. This is one of the reasons why you have to work on lengthening your breath, because some of these poses, as you get more, it's the breathing is what it is. So it's confusing. That's hard. And we're going to get this really comfortable before we start the feet, because remember what happens with this, you actually start this in a single hand attaching. And what happens is as this goes around, your toe goes out. And as this comes around, you want to start, when you hear, as this goes forward, you step with keeping your weight on the back, and then you punch. And there's a martial arts reason for that, because your opponent is focusing on you and doesn't realize that you've taken that step and that you're ready to punch with all of your might. So there's a reason for that stepping. But the hands, you'll get it, Emily. It takes time. So I want to do, our circle, our Tai Chi ball practice. And we'll take some time with this. And we'll probably end up with charge up again and gather and let go. The reason I'm spending time with this charge up is because Master George said at this time of year, when we go from winter to summer, it's really important. He didn't give me a reason, but I trust him. If he says it's important, I do it. At this point of the year. So we'll end up with that. But when we do our ball practice, I'm going to spend a lot of time in press. So press this way. And I think last week I did it, and I realized that when I was looking at myself, I didn't have a dark shirt on, and you might not have realized that I was doing this press. But I want you to, when we do press, there's a lot of ways to do it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn sideways, but don't you turn sideways. I want you to be able to watch me. When I'm ready to do press, I'm going to go sideways, because we're going to press like this. We're going to press like we get it really tight, and we're going to let our hands go and come all the way around. And we're going to press that way. And sometimes I just want to, when you're imagining the ball expanding, what you want to imagine, that's the center. It's all expanding, but it's expanding in front of you, and it's expanding behind you, and of course everywhere. It's getting really, really big. So when you're ready to press, you want it right opposite your middle Dan Chien, because this whole energy is coming from the middle Dan Chien, and that energy from behind you is helping you move. So it's going through your Dan Chien and contracting into your hands. So that's an inhale and exhale. And when we do this, as we inhale, what we're doing is we want to still imagine you don't want to lose what you've built up in this hand. So imagine or feel that as you get more and more energy, and now you're going to add more energy to this. And you want to concentrate on not moving this hand, because the energy is going to come this way. So we'll play with that, okay?
All right.
It's a good ball practice. Okay. So we're in beginning stance. Okay. Okay, let's bow. Phew. Yeah. Uh, my legs were getting really tired. That was
I was getting a little wobbly at the end anyway.
I was too. Then again, I did a lot of my newer poses. Today was the first day I've practiced Tai Chi since Sunday, which is awful.
Right. Right.
Yesterday, it was just another day that got started. This is the dog.
Oh, yes.
Katie was
Big
really
dog.
good. Yeah, oh yeah. She's not quite as big as my old one dude was, but she's the same breed. Great. I love her. She's our friend's dog. She was in the midst of moving, and this dog got so crazy watching him pack up and
Yeah.
anxious that Kathy called me and said, "Do you want it?" And I said, "Oh yeah, we love her. We'll take her until you get the move done."
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
So, did you have any questions? What we did?
No. I followed everything.